Hey friends, Mike here from Outreach Radio Chicago and Mercado Airwaves. I am so excited to let you in on a new service we are providing. If you or someone you know has an upstart or established business and company and would like to do some marketing on various platforms, you can do that right now by becoming an official sponsor and power all our interviews with athletes and celebrities. We assure quality audio in the beginning and ending of our interviews that will spotlight your amazing business and help bring in as much traffic as possible to all your outlets. From award-winning celebrities, Sundance Film Darling director David Farrier joins us.
Appreciate you having me on the show.
To world champion athletes, UFC bantamweight champion Dominic Cruz. Dominic, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great. How are you, Mike?
We promise you the absolute best from the entire staff of Mercado Airwaves. For more information, visit us on patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Subscribe to us on youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. Like the radio show page on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago. Follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. And visit the website, mercadoairwaves.wordpress.com. Thank you for listening and all the support. What is going on, friends, and welcome into another episode of Outreach Radio Chicago. I'm your host, Michael Mercado, and I want to thank you so much for making us a part of your day. Joining us today is Dr. Rober Marx. He's the author of the brand new book, Deadly Prescription. You can find it on Amazon.com. Just look up Deadly Prescription. He joins us for just a few minutes to give us some information about what he has found on his research when it comes to big pharma and what you're putting into your body. It's a very interesting conversation. Please stick around for Dr. Rober Marx as he joins us in just one moment. But before we get to the good doc, you can follow us everywhere in the universe. I'm on Twitter at mmercado2333. You can like the radio show page on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago. I'm at Michelangelo Mercado. We're on Instagram, Mike Mercado2333. So follow us there. If you missed any episode of Outreach Radio Chicago, go to youtube.com/Mike Mercado2333. Subscribe to us right there, and you can see every single one of our past episodes. Visit us on Patreon, patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. There you can see all the work that we're doing outside of Outreach Radio Chicago, like our interview with celebrity Orlando Jones or former UFC bantamweight champion Dominic Cruz. All that and more at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. There you can see how you get every single one of those interviews ad-free and before anybody else on social media and the radio airwaves. We also have the website, mercadoairwaves.wordpress.com. Please check us out there as well. We are also on iTunes, guys. Check us out at itunes.com, Mercado Airwaves. Please like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thank you so much for the continuous support. We're only able to do this because of you guys. So with all the business out of the way, Dr. Rober Marx joins us next on Outreach Radio Chicago. Stay tuned. Dr. Rober Marx as he joins us from deadlyprescription.com. Dr. Marx, how are you, buddy? Thank you for joining us today.
I'm fine, sir. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So before we get started and get into the meat of the questions and everything, can you give the audience a little bit about yourself and all the awesome work that you've done?
Well, I'm originally Chicagoan by nature. Grew up not too far from Wrigley Field. Went to Lane Tech High School in Chicago. But I'm with the University of Miami Miller School of Medicine now. I'm what's called an oral and maxillofacial surgeon and essentially do a lot of head and neck cancer surgery, bone research, and stem cell research today.
So before we get to the really important stuff, let's get to something else important. Are you a Cub fan?
Yes, I'm a Cub fan.
Okay, so I just want to say from one Cub fan to another, they did it. It's amazing. Everything is wonderful in life.
They waited a long time, but they finally made it. I was rooting for them.
That's awesome. All right, bud. So let's get into this. What kind of surgeries do you do so everybody has kind of a background on what we're about to talk on?
Yes, I do head and neck surgery. I'm really pretty much of a bone geek. We do a lot of bone research, and most of our work is in rebuilding the facial bones with bone grafting and now with stem cells and with growth factors. So the issue at hand is all of the negative factors some drugs have on bones that we were able to identify early on in their course.
Do you think in general people are taking too many pills in general already as it is when it comes to their prescriptions?
Yes. Most people take more pills than they really need. I see a lot of my patients taking 20 different medications, and a lot of them are either not needed. Many of the prescriptions today are overprescribed. The dosages have not been worked out perfectly, particularly the osteoporosis medications, and the side effects have not been elucidated well.
Can you make that connection then for any of the audience who especially are going through anything like this, the type of medicine or the type of pills that you're getting for these anti-osteoporosis drugs and what they're doing to the body and what you guys have learned in your studies?
Okay, in a nutshell of a complicated biology, the osteoporosis medicine is called bisphosphonates, and that includes today Fosamax, which is also alendronate by generic name, and then there is Actonel, Telvia, and Boniva. These all work by killing a normal cell in your body, and so they are going to have side effects. When they were originally researched, the side effects were not recognized or looked at, and now we see a small percentage of people developing dead bone in the jaws. These medications last in bone for over 11 years. They have what we call a half-life in bone. I mean, what you take day one, 11 years later, half of it's still in your bone. So probably the best advice I can give to your listeners is that the FDA has indicated that this class of medications should be checked after taking it for only 3 years, and that hardly anybody needs it for more than 5 years. Yet the drug companies have pushed physicians to prescribe it the rest of a woman's life after menopause. That's the conflict.
So when you have something like this, though, that's in the market and it's getting pushed back to the doctors are the ones in charge. You know, I know the money works its way down and it rules the world. But, like, in that scenario, can't the doctors say, no, I can't give my patients that? Are they being pressured in financially, too?
Yes, particularly through the major societies. Here's how doctors get pressured. Many of the societies are promoted or researched and granted research grants by the major drug companies. A lot of their members are given research grants or offered them. Plus, a lot of the physicians today, including ourselves, are just very busy with, the electronic medical record and the like, and so often they don't get a chance to read the literature fully, and they listen to the drug reps who will always promote the medication and downplay or not even mention side effects.
In your line right now, I mean, you've been doing this a long time. You really respect it, and you got some cool stuff down the pipeline we're going to get to in a second. But the pushback must have been unbelievable when you're dealing with people with so much financial investment into something good or bad that, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. This isn't good for the system, and yet alone they're making money off of it. So how bad was the pushback from quote unquote Big Pharma?
It was very significant. They trivialized it, denied it, accused us of making it up. They worked through some of the organizations, particularly the American Society of Bone and Mineral Research, and came out with their own position papers, which were almost like a puppet of the drug companies. And so, there was significant pushback, even a few veiled threats that we found in the emails when this thing came through court.
And how do you deal with that, though? Do you get a sense of honor knowing that they're going to these lengths because you might be onto something, or is it almost scary to have such a faceless big brand coming at you?
Basically, the way you handle it, you push on, knowing that you're right and that this is information that the public needs to have aware. And so we publish our own articles on it that are independent. When I was in the court testifying against them, I did not receive any money. It all went to the University of Miami to compensate them for my absence. So I tried to stay, clean as far as not being a person in it for the rich rewards you get from being an expert witness.
And so what was the motivation to really get ahead of this? And, it's really easy. I don't want to say it's really easy, but for lack of a better term, it's really easy to take the easy road and make the easy money and just tell your patient, here you go, take 2 and call me in the morning. But what was it in your life that made you question it a little bit that, maybe there's another way at this?
Well, it was doing the right thing. It's seeing so many of my patients suffer from things that they shouldn't be suffering from. Dead bone in the jaw that smells bad, looks bad, causes pain. And to tell you the truth, over 200 and some people now, I've had to remove half of their lower jaw or
Wow.
part of their upper jaw to cure their problem. So this is something that should have been researched better in their research that they presented to the FDA.
How annoying is that, though, as a professional, that a lot of these things come down to the proper research? When people like yourself do all this work to try to prove something, to try to show people a certain fact or a certain way of life, and there's a lot of pushback just because people are too lazy to do the work.
It's not that they're too lazy. I think they tend to be corrupted literally by the big money in it. I mean, you take a look at Fosamax. It made $3.6 billion per year in the mid-2000s, and it's still making over $1 billion per year,
Jeez.
even now that it's gone off of patent. So I think it's the lure of what is called a blockbuster drug that lets them push it through the FDA really fast and kind of show the FDA only the good sides of the medication. Somewhat the FDA is a little bit hoodwinked by these drug companies.
Dr. Rober Marx joins us for just a few moments with all the awesome time that he's giving us today. Go to deliprescription.com. He's actually got a cool project that we're going to talk to in just one moment. But before that, I could kill it if I didn't ask this question, especially since I have such a high-ranking professional on the matter, is how involved is government too involved in this, in pushing these big pharma companies to push and force and pressure doctors like yourself and all over the country to continuously feed people these pills?
I don't think that the government's involved enough. I'm not a big person to have government involved in everything we do. Mm-hmm. We suffer with that with current medicine. But there really is not a good oversight. The FDA is a good group, but they're underfunded, understaffed, and when a drug company brings data to the FDA for approval, the FDA doesn't do independent studies. They're not funded for that. So they have to believe in the honesty of the drug company's data, and often that's the problem.
So, Dr. Marx, you have this cool project that you have going on, a novel called Deadly Prescription. Can you tell us a little bit about that? My girlfriend's really into the crime dramas, those type of things, and the mystery suspense thrillers, and this kind of might be right up her alley, huh?
I would hope so. This is a murder medical mystery that's weaved around a lot of interesting medicine. It has several suspects that have kind of a rich background. One is a Russian hitman. The other are two sleazy attorneys. The other two are CEOs of major big pharma companies. And there's also a justifiably jealous husband in there, too. So it allows me to teach the reader a little bit about some of the historical medicine, including rabies, mad cow disease, and even the Black Plague gets involved in this story.
How much fun is it writing these type of stories where you get to incorporate your career, your passion, and then you get to put a fun twist on things, and also trying to make it to a way where the public and everybody out there can kind of get entertained while learning?
I think you hit it right on the head. It's very enjoyable. It gives me a chance to teach the public about some real medicine, rather than a lot of the things you see on TV with wizards and slow motion karate and other, implausible things. This is a very plausible plot with rich characters and a very big twist at the end. This is one of 3 books coming out as far as the trilogy. The next one is called Deadly Consequences, and there's a little bit of a takeoff on this one.
How difficult is it to manage the time of your career, the research, on top of writing this entertainment while still trying to keep it in a balance of realism and in our reality? I mean, one of the toughest things that I have friends that are writers, one of the toughest things they have is they're trying to relate it to the audience. So for somebody like you who has all this time already on your profession on top of this, is how do you manage your time?
Sometimes I wonder that myself. I'm still an active surgeon that operates 3 to 4 days a week, and I teach a group of residents. The answer to your question, I have really great support. I've got the best secretary in the world by the name of Maria Ruiz. She's just down the hall. She kind of types everything for me and gives me some guidance, and I have a good resident and fellowship support here at the University of Miami. So somehow we get it all done. We also work pretty late hours.
That comes with the territory. And, you guys have a good group of guys and gals over there, and you work such an interesting field. And then you talked about some of these characters that are going to be in the book. Can I take it that some of them are modeled off after other people that you've actually come in contact with?
Yes, I would remind everybody it is fiction, but yes, several of the characters are modeled after people I know. some of them are completely fictitious, but I think it's what I call in this book, it's ripped from reality. A lot of the characters have corollaries in real life.
Dr. Rober Marx, where can people get this book? Is it on Amazon? Is it on the website? If people are interested in this type of stuff, especially since it's going to be on a trilogy, you're going to want to jump on the train early enough?
I would hope so. This is on Amazon, Amazon.com. They can just go to Amazon.com. It's there and type in Deadly Prescription. And you'll be able to see a few of the blogs that I've just written, which talk about some of the generation of the characters and what the book is about without revealing too much of the plot.
You have your hands in a lot of different pots, doing a lot of different things, and it gets me thinking, what does the public get wrong when it comes to big pharma, prescription pills, doctors? One thing that I tend to see a lot, this last 2 years I've been doing this show, is people don't do the right amount of research. That's right there on Google. That you could just type it in there and you can make your own decision. But what do you think the public gets wrong when it comes to these type of things?
You're right. What the public gets wrong is that they believe the advertisements on TV that show only the good sides of things and show this beautiful, two people sitting in a bathtub holding hands, and things that we all know about, and don't really ask your physician what is the side effects, what's the long-term effects of these medications, and they need to take the time to go on the internet and look up the name of their drug, and you will see some of the negative features that are not brought out by the drug companies or even the physicians who are prescribing this in good faith but may not be aware of the side effects. Gardasil is one of the major ones going on now. There's a very big scandal about Gardasil, which essentially was introduced by the lead researcher who identified that Gardasil doesn't do what it's supposed to do, and yet this was supposed to be a groundbreaking vaccination for young girls to prevent future cancers from human papillomavirus. So now that whole data has come into question.
How often does that happen, though? I mean, I enjoy the occasional conspiracy theory on the internet like anybody else. And then you hear about these, these drug trials and these different things that go on that were all just a lie. They were all just for something else. Does that really still happen in 2017 where people are telling you, hey, put this in your body, it does X, but when really it's doing Y?
Oh, you're absolutely right. To show you the facts, look at the Vioxx scandal. Vioxx was the best painkiller ever. We all used it. It was researched. Nobody ever found out about its heart attack problem. After it was out on the market, 139,000 Americans developed heart attacks from Vioxx. The company, Merck Company, put out a bogus article in New England Journal of Medicine sort of denying it. That was a kind of to me, in my opinion, kind of a research finagle, if you will. Finally, it was taken off the market voluntarily by Merck, and they had to settle out of court for $980 million. And so, it does happen. That's the one that's happened the last decade. And now Fosamax, which is the one I'm familiar with, has been poorly researched, and they never identified the dead bone in the jaw that we're seeing now caused by it.
That's unbelievable.
And leg fractures as well.
Wow, that is just unbelievable that that's still happening in this day and age. Dr. Rober Marx, you've been absolutely phenomenal. Is there any last advice before we let you get out of here? Any last words you want to give to all your Chicago people out here?
Continue to root for the Cubs and the White Sox. The other is to, talk to your doctor sincerely about the medications you're taking, the dosage, and how long you need to take them. And do go on the internet and look at the other side of the coin on every medicine you're taking.
Oh, you're the best. Dr. Rober Marx, go to deadlyprescription.com, go to amazon.com, look up the book, Deadly Prescription, and it's going to be one of a trilogy. Without giving us too much, before we let you go, we're all feeling good. The Cubs just won the World Series. Do you want to, when can we expect book 2 of 3? Within the next year or so?
Probably 1 year from now. It should be out in the market, maybe a little bit sooner.
Awesome.
It's called Deadly Consequences.
Awesome. So I can expect you to be back on the show then, so we can talk about that and hopefully another Cubs World Series.
Anytime. It's good to talk to my hometown people.
You're the best, Dr. Rober Marx. Thank you so much, buddy. Please enjoy the rest of your day. You have a home here on Outreach Radio Chicago.
I appreciate the invitation. Hope we can do it again. Have a good day yourself. Your program is a big success.
One last huge thank you to Dr. Rober Marx for joining us today. If you would like more information, please visit deadlyprescription.com or go to Amazon if you want to pick up the book, Deadly Prescription. He was awesome. I hope you guys took something out of it. He gave us a lot of good information, and hopefully you guys are able to do your own research and make up your own mind the next time that you're put in that position to take a pill or not, or to take a certain medicine, to take a certain untested drug, whatever the case may be. Hopefully you guys have a good resource after today. But that'll do it for us. Follow me on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago. I'm at Michelangelo Mercado. I'm on Instagram, Mike Mercado2333, so follow us there. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/Mike Mercado2333. If you missed any past episode of Outreach Radio Chicago, subscribe to us there so you could catch up on every single one of them. Visit the website, mercadoairwaves.wordpress.com, and you could go to patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. If you're brand new to us and you want to see what we're doing outside of Outreach Radio Chicago, like our interviews with celebrity Orlando Jones or former UFC Bantamweight champion Dominic Cruz, check us out there. You can get every single one of our episodes ad-free and before anybody else. Just go to patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and check out how you can do that. And of course, find us on iTunes, Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe, like, share, do all that fun stuff. We really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much to Dr. Rober Marx, Deadly Prescription on Amazon. Thank you all for joining us. Please take care of each other, and we will see you next time. Take us home, Hav. Hey friends, Mike here from Outreach Radio Chicago and Mercado Airwaves. I am so excited to let you in on a new service we are providing. If you or someone you know has an upstart or established business and company and would like to do some marketing on various platforms, you can do that right now by becoming an official sponsor and power all our interviews with athletes and celebrities. We assure quality audio in the beginning and ending of our interviews that will spotlight your amazing business and help bring in as much traffic as possible to all your outlets. From award-winning celebrities, Sundance Film Darling director David Farrier joins us.
Appreciate you having me on the show.
To world champion athletes, UFC Bantamweight champion Dominic Cruz. Dominic, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great. How are you, Mike?
We promise you the absolute best from the entire staff of Mercado Airwaves. For more information, visit us on patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Subscribe to us on youtube.com/Mike Mercado2333. Like the radio show page on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago. Follow us on Instagram, Mike Mercado2333. And visit the website, mercadoairwaves.wordpress.com. Thank you for listening and all the support.